Hi, my name is Elizabeth, and I am a librarian at Marquette's Rainer Memorial Libraries. In the course of the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through some of the resources the library has to offer you for this assignment. If at any point you get lost in the video, please know that everything I reference is linked on the library guide for this assignment. So you can always go back to libguides.marquette.edu/engl1002, and that will bring you back to any of the databases or websites that are linked in this video. We're going to begin at the library's website, which is located at marquette.edu/library. We're then going to be going to Research Guides. When you get to the guide, you will see that it begins with an animation of the information timeline, how news changes over time. This is a great reminder of the importance of currency when choosing your articles for this assignment. The amount of time that has passed since the event dramatically changes the type of news being reported and even how it is reported. We're now going to go to the tab titled Choose a Topic. These are really good places to start for this assignment. Everything from BBC News, Google Trends, places that help identify what is going on in the news and what are the main current events. The one we're going to start with right now, though, is Google World News. This is a great aggregator. We're going to pause for a second to talk about aggregators. An aggregator is a website or a program that collects related items of content and displays them or links to them. Besides major search engines, other types of aggregators that you might come across while researching for this assignment are things like Huffington Post, Reddit, and other forms of social media. Aggregators don't make the news. They simply help you organize it and find it. Okay, so back to searching. You can see that I'm going to search for President Obama and Cuba to see if I can get some world news sources related to his recent visit. The search interface provides quite a bit of important information from the get-go, including the title of the news source, the date, and the type of news article, like opinion, in-depth, front page, blog, that sort of thing. This is important contextual information. We aren't flipping through a paper newspaper, so it can be more difficult to pick up on this type of article information in an online presentation. I'm going to move us back to the guide now into a subtab titled Newspapers. The library subscribes to several newspaper databases, and I don't necessarily recommend one over another, but for the sake of time, we're going to look at only two today, ProQuest Newsstand and Access World News. I'm going to perform the same search in ProQuest Newsstand that I did in Google World News. Without providing any other limiters, I'm going to have over 6,000 newspaper results from this search. This number is a little misleading because it includes things like wire feeds, little bits of information journalists use to compose their stories, and they aren't particularly useful to you, so I'll show you in a bit a few ways that you can exclude these from your search. Beyond excluding wire feeds from your source type, it will also be important to limit publication date to the past month. This has whittled our results down to a little over 800. We're also going to choose news as our document type. And feel free to play around with location and take a look at the publication titles listed in your results. I'm moving us back to the guide again, this time to select Access World News. What I want to highlight from this resource is the ability to browse and select by world region. This can be a great way to find your international source. Please note that some newspapers do have a delay on them, so make sure to look at the date range for the publication. Okay, back to the guide one last time. This time I want to take a look at the resources on the tab titled What Makes Good Journalism. Here we try to explain some of the more complicated concepts in news searching, like how news agencies work and when and why a byline might be used or not used. Further down, you'll see more resources related to media in other countries, like the ABYZ News Links directory and reports on international issues of freedom of the press. This can help in better understanding some of the challenges facing reporters and journalists in some parts of the world and why news may be reported very differently depending on the location of your source. In review, in this video, we looked at two databases, ProQuest Newsstand and Access World News, and highlighted some of the ways in which we can search it and limit it. We also looked at Google World News, as well as some of the other resources on the library guide that help you in contextualizing the news you find, like the Freedom of Press reports. Last, I'm going to end with the links to the resources that we were looking at, and my contact information. If after today you're still struggling to find those sources that you need, please do not hesitate to email me or give me a call. My contact information is below the two links. Thanks, and have a good rest of your night.